Today we're going to be taking this warehouse from this to this, and hopefully installing one of the cleanest racks for a company. Well, if there ever was a company that needed a clean rack, it would be Krantz Design. These guys make high-end, super luxurious kitchens with machinery like this, worth well over 6 digits, that needs to be watched. Not because somebody might steal it, this thing isn't going anywhere in a hurry, but more to make sure that these machines are being operated correctly, so to not damage anything, or more importantly, anyone. And this is all of the equipment we're going to be using. We've got cameras here, we've got switching, we've got wireless access points, and Ubiquity's latest router, the Dream Router 7, which is going to be the brains of the operation. So they've said to me the internet in this building and the Wi-Fi isn't actually that bad, but sometimes it cuts out, and I think that's to do with the fact that they've got all of this sort of metal shelving housing really thick pieces of wood. I've measured it, connected in at 1,000 down and 100 up. I got the electric contractors to run 2 data wires so we can take the WAN from the ONT, the optical network terminal, up to where we're going to have our rack positioned. This is going to be a sick install. So the office still is very much a work in progress. Things are happening, but this is going to be the location for our rack. I can't take credit for all the hard work. The cables have been run. We're just here to make this thing look nice. Let's go and get that rack out. Oh, yeah. It's going to be wall mounted up there. It's going to look sweet, but for now, take off this door and hand it over to Jed, because he's going to go and do something really special to this.
I've never done this before, so this could go horrifically wrong, but we'll see how it goes. So the plan here is to take this stencil that I created last night with my girlfriend on a Cricut, and what I'm planning to do is lay it on here, taking some of this etching cream and painting it on with a paintbrush, leaving it for about 5 to 10 minutes, letting it do its thing, hopefully peeling this off and revealing what will be etched glass, and it'll say Krantz Designs in a lovely etched stencil. On first glance, I'm seeing it's not done the best job in certain areas. I might have to just take this in and just do a little bit of spotting with it, just to make sure it looks spot on.
The worst part of this entire install has almost been completed. Not yet, because I want to show you guys what I've been going through for the last 2 hours. It's now dark outside, so I have terminated every single one of these cable runs and labeled all of the ones that the contractors left labeled. They didn't leave all of them, which is really annoying. So basically the plan with all of these is to turn a bare cable like this into something like this with a keystone on the end, which will in turn then sit inside of this patch panel. To get our cable sheathing off, and then we've got our bare cables. We'll take one of them out, we'll put it up there, and then we'll take this smaller part out. This is what we need now. Now this little keystone jack has some important markings on it, A and B, and it depends what wiring method you want to use. I and most people use B for some reason. So all we're going to do is bend these twisted pairs into the corresponding channels. So I'm going B, this one is orange, and the one next to it is white orange. I've snipped off any excess, and this is where we can actually take our keystone jack. This just simply closes up and locks in like that, and we have a keystone jack. And now what we need to do is take some of this tape and give it a label. So next we need to take all of our keystone jacks and put them in here in the correct order. So this should be just a simple case of push it in and click like that, and there you see we have a flush mounted keystone jack. So I've mounted the patch panel at the top of the rack, which is the best place for it, and I will put another screw in here, but I just want to show you guys how easy this is. You basically twist these thumb screws on like that, and you're done. No messing around with a screwdriver. Very toolless, and this looks sick. Now is the fun part. We get to play with some equipment. We've got Ubiquity's brand new Dream Router 7 here. At the time of filming, this isn't released, but if you're watching this, it definitely is. Excited to have a look at this, but it's not time yet. We need to look at this bad boy first. So this is a 24-port Pro Max switch from Ubiquiti that has PoE, which means you can plug in cameras and access points into any of these ports and you've got power and data. Furthermore, the back 8 ports are 2.5 gig. Now that doesn't really matter for this sort of a deployment, but if they ever upgrade to 2.5 gig in the future, it's nice to know that this supports it. After I've installed some rack studs, this doesn't fit. Brilliant. Right, I've removed these, so now the switch fits and we can use the rack studs to secure it in place. Okay, so with the switch mounted, we need to take care of some power. So for that, we have a custom painted PDU and a custom painted rack shelf to match all of the Ubiquiti gear. Okay, so PDU is mounted there. We're gonna put a shelf above this. It still works after my paint job, and I even masked off the power button. Right, so let's plug this switch in, unless you know you haven't seen this before. Oh, that is sick. I mean, I don't know how actually useful this is yet, but I suppose we're going to find out, aren't we? Okay, so I'm back down where the fibre enters the building, and these two runs have ended up here, main 1 and main 2. So I've just put a crimp end on this. So this is going to plug in right there and feed up into the rack, so now hopefully we have internet access up at the rack. So this is the dream router. So this basically is going to be the brains of our network, and it's also going to record all of the camera footage onto a micro SD card that lives in the back here. So let's go and get this plugged into the rack and see if we've got internet from the cable. So now what we can do is take a short patch lead like this, go into main 1, which is the fibre terminal downstairs, and plug this into the WAN port on this device. Now this new Dream Router 7 is quite a powerful device on its own. It's got a 2.5 gig switch on the back, and one of the ports, the top one, is actually a PoE port. So if you bought this as a standalone device, you could run an access point off this or a camera with no other power. And as you can see, this has lit up and it's glowing. That looks awesome. So these are the special ether lighting patch cables. Now they have basically a translucent boot on them. So this is going to take advantage of the LEDs inside of this switch. Now they're super short because they are patch cables, just that. We're going to patch from one of the ports on here to one of the ports up here. Like that. That looks sick. So the scary thing about all of this is Ubiquiti make setting all of this stuff up like too easy. So first I'm going to click on advanced settings here because we have to put our ISP information here so it has internet access.
It feels like I'm never gonna see the end.
So this looks awesome, I'm not gonna lie, wow. But you haven't seen the best thing yet. So we've mounted some buttons here, and if we click this, bosh, look at that. This thing looks awesome, and I love how cool that UDR looks, just chilling there on this custom shelf. This is insane. However, we need to put these side panels on and see this thing really come to life. So the door should just go on like that, and this is going to be a reveal of the secret project that Jed was working on earlier. So we turn on the LEDs like that, and then we give this a shut up like that. Look how sick that looks with the Krantz Designs logo on there. That is unreal. Right, so something I like to do on all of my racks is just put one of these on the side, just to keep a nice little place for the keys. Right, let's go and look at some Wi-Fi and some cameras. So with the rack almost done, it's back on the unboxing table. We've got a few pieces to play with here. This is the new U7 access point, and this is the brand new Flex 2.5 gig, which basically means that what we can do with this switch, yes, it's 2.5 gig, but what we can do is take PoE in from our main switch in the rack and power up 8 other devices, which is crazy. Now this is a beast, the U7 Pro from Ubiquiti. I think this is a tri-band access point, 2.5 gig port on the back. These things are now super heavy, and I'm seeing a little ventilation hole in the back. I think these new access points actually have active cooling in them, which is nuts. So this purple cable here is coming from the rack over there. It's plugged into our Flex 2.5 gig, providing power and data, meaning we now have 8 more ports of PoE to play with. Up here, an access point and 2 cameras will be plugged into this and utilizing this one cable. So I think this is the last unboxing on today's video. Sad times. This, however, is the brand new Express 7, building on Ubiquiti's previous Express, which was basically a tiny little gateway. But these things can be configured in numerous different ways. So if you wanted to, this thing can be a gateway, but it can also just act as a wireless access point to a pre-existing gateway. And then if you do that, you're going to have a little 2-port switch on the back. So the Express is booting up. Now the problem is we need Wi-Fi down here, and we only have one Ethernet port on the wall. Now this port was reserved for this piece of machinery to my left, but what we're going to do is utilize both the ports on the back of the Express to give us Wi-Fi down here and hardwire this machine in. So guys, I am absolutely knackered. One hell of a day it has been today. What a custom rack we've put together in there for Krantz Designs, and some insane Wi-Fi up here on the mezzanine with that access point up there, and then the Express down there using one of the available Ethernet ports and giving us Wi-Fi and an extra port to connect some of the heavy machinery. Oh, I almost forgot the cameras as well. I knew what the before and afters were going to be yesterday, i.e. I knew we were going to have great Wi-Fi up here, and we have, and I'm sure the owners of Krantz Designs are going to be absolutely over the moon with this system, and I can't wait to see what they think of the rack in there. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed. Mine has been Alex, this has been TechFlow, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Shout out to our sponsor, Squarespace, the company that makes building a personalised website easier than ever. We built my website, Wi-Fi, on Squarespace, and it's packed with all the tools that you need to make something truly unique. Squarespace is constantly innovating. The new Fluid engine gives you total creative freedom as to how your website is going to appear from device to device, making one website look great across all devices. Plus, their updated SEO tools make sure your site gets traction by pushing it out on search engines like Google to reach your desired audience. You can even integrate Squarespace memberships to build a loyal community of fans, or even sign people up to a newsletter that's all under the one platform. If you're thinking of building a website, you can save yourself 10% off your first Squarespace purchase or domain by using code TechFlow, or go to squarespace.com/TechFlow, and we'll have that linked below. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring the video.
Oh, yeah.